Hey guys, Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this thrilling Tuesday, terrific Tuesday, thrilling Thursday, terrific Tuesday here in Connecticut. I'm telling you, man, I'm back on East Coast time, but it's going to take me a while. I can't adjust like I used to. Anyway, with that said, you saw the thumbnail. Las Vegas royalty. Now, should be Las Vegas trumpet royalty, but for all we're doing is fine. Now, from left to right on that picture, you got Perico, you got Tom DeLibra, you got myself, and you got Tommy Pirello. Does it get any better than that? I'm not sure if it does. I'm really and truly not sure if it does. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I am not privy to the business side of it anymore. Even on a limited basis, I'm a little more attuned to what's going on Broadway than certainly what's going on the West Coast. Okay, so I'm just going to leave the West Coast alone. But Broadway is severely limited. We're talking live music here now. After COVID, everything took a hit. Everything took a hit. The union right now is basically non-existent. The pits are down to the absolute bare minimum. Okay? And you got the New York Philharmonic, you got the Met. Even some of the smaller yet thriving opera companies and dance companies are all either out of business or taking a severe hit. The point is, live music, not so much. Not so much. West Coast, there's certainly some recording to be done, and I guess you could call that live, but it's not a performance to say. Now, they have the Los Angeles Philharmonic and all that sort of stuff. And again, I'm not that privy to what's going on outside of that. But live music is not thriving. And I'll tell you what, there is nothing going on in New York, I can say for sure, to the magnitude of what Perico pulled off on Friday night. Okay? Now, with that said, that was a one-shot deal. Whether I think he should be headlining a club or something like that, that's neither here nor there. All right? But here's the deal. Las Vegas, so the point is Las Vegas may be the epicenter of what's left of live music. There are still, house bands and things like that going on, and certainly was on full display Saturday night. Dave comped us at the Rat Pack show. Now, as you may have surmised, he's got some pull over there. He did all the arrangements. I'm telling you, man. This is like you got Wayne Newton and then you got Perico. He's got his hands everywhere. Anyway, the point is, it was a very great time. It was at the Copa Room, they called, at one of the Tuscany suites, the casinos, big casinos. The Copa Room. Now, the Copa Room was restructured to be a bit of a replica of the old Copacabana in New York City, where the Rat Pack did their thing for so long. Okay, and instead of rows of chairs, there was single chairs with tables where you sit around and the waitress would come and you could order drinks. Just like a nightclub. There was a bar in the back and the whole 9 yards. And it was an intimate little space. I'm going to say full capacity might be 50, 75. I'm going to say 100 at the most. But the point is, it's a small club. Small club. And 7 musicians on stage. 2 of them were trumpet players. The lead player was Tom DeLibra, and the second player was Tom Pirello. Now, guys, does it get any better than that. Okay, now let's retrace our steps a little bit. Give you a little background. For you young guys, Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Chame were the biggest names in show business. They were doing movies, they were doing Broadway shows, they were doing, everything. Recording, record sales, they were Las Vegas, they were the biggest names in show business. It was the equivalent of, Taylor Swift and Jay-Z or Michael Jackson. I mean, these were the creme de la creme. Now, back then, they would travel with full orchestras, and there was no expense spared. Frank Sinatra got what he wanted and who he wanted, and the same with Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. If they were by themselves, or together, they got what they wanted. Now, especially Frank Sinatra had some of the most legendary, iconic trumpet players. Charlie Turner comes to mind, who is just, incredible. Incredible. Now, Perico did the arrangements, but guys, these are some of the most difficult trumpet parts ever because the nature of the personnel that was playing these jobs. Okay? So, this show that's been running forever and probably will run forever, because to make ends meet, they don't have to fill a 2,000 seat auditorium, like you're doing this, that, or the other thing. And it was a wonderful, wonderful show. But to have Tom DeLibera and Tom Perillo playing less than 50 feet away from me and just putting holes in my forehead with high G's. I mean, just exquisite, precise trumpet players. I mean, if your chops aren't right and you're in a bit of a cack fest, a clam bake, and people are that close to you, man, everybody knows. Everybody knows. And for the difficulty, and again, how many shows, it wasn't an intermission show. They do several shows a night. That is an absolute grind. And it seems like every new hotshot that comes to town has to make their bones at the Rat Pack. Perico did it. DeLibera and Perillo did it. Lynn Nicholson did it. I mean, we can just go right down the list. This is where trumpet players come to prove their worth. We can handle the second book. We haven't heard him on the lead book yet. Oh, we played the lead book the other night and killed it. All right. So if he can do that, well, he can do this over at Harrah's, and so the legend goes. But anyway, I'm not even sure. I think both of those guys were subs. I know for a fact Tom Perillo on second was. I think the lead player was Danny Falcone, who I believe, who was another legend in his own right, but Tom subbed for him. Okay? And guys, it was just a clinic on how to play lead trumpet. I mean, dynamics, phrasing, interpretation, articulations, and just spot on. Now, Tommy Perillo, his entire life, has used, excuse me, the allergies are killing me, has used his entire life a 10 3/4 Bach, 10 3/4 CW. Especially back in the day with the, with the Mount Vernon type Bach. That's a small mouthpiece, man, with a wide rim. The W stands for the wide rim. Okay? DeLibera plays a 1SS. Okay? I sent him the 1SB, and I mean, he likes it, but if you heard him play, why in the world would you try anything else? The 1SS is just it. Now, the 1SS is a deeper version of the 1SB, and quite frankly, I didn't like it. Jerry didn't like it. To me, it gave a very, very tubby sound. And this is from a classical player now. I thought the sound was too tubby. But it was not too tubby for Delibra. I'm telling you what, that was just Sizzle City. Just so concrete. All the way up into the register, just full and everything. And I'll tell you what, man, he sounded great on the 1SS. Go figure. Now, once again, I might have mentioned on the other one, my wife is getting a little concerned about me because when I meet all these new trumpet players, I'm checking out their lips. And I'll tell you what, both Toms, Delibra and Perello. Now, Perello, 85 years old and still killing it. 85 years old and still killing it, playing the Rat Pack. I mean, guys, this guy was Harry James's lead trumpet player. And for sake of argument, match the guy note for note. I mean, it's tremendous, legendary, right? So here we are listening to that. And what an ending to an absolute glorious, glorious few days in Vegas. It was just so much fun. And my wife loved it. Now, my wife, straight. My wife is a BAP, a Brooklyn American princess. She loved the show. She was even part of the show. You know, all this part of the show is banter between all the guys, and they're interacting with the actors, Frank, Dean, and Sammy. And Frank is going once, "Are there any Italians here?" My wife's hand shoots up. "Really, what's your name?" "Christine." "Where are you from, Christine?" "I'm from Connecticut." "Wow, you're a long way from home." She says, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "Don't worry, Del. You'll be going home with me tonight." Fly me to the moon. I mean, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. We had so much fun. Anyway, top on that, meeting in the lounge after with Las Vegas royalty, Perico, Delibra, and Perello. Oh, I was in heaven. I was in trumpet heaven. And you want to know the cool thing? You want to know the perfect spouse? Even though she's gorgeous and smart, she has edited every one of my 30-plus books on trumpet. Except for myself, she probably, in theory, knows more about the True Power system than anybody on the planet. So she was following along with all our banter back and forth and overblowing and swelling lips and all this stuff. Oh, please. It was great. And the three of us were just talking shop. Absolutely a wonderful, wonderful evening. So, once again, to Dave, the two Toms, thank you for such a great experience. I had a blast. I had an absolute blast. And my wife did too. We're going to do it again. I don't know when we're going to do it, but that's not the last time we're going to Vegas. So, Dave, keep us abreast of what you got cooking. And if something, we're coming back out, man. We're coming back out. All right, guys. Eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Love you all.